something is finally going to get done. I'm actually in Broward, where we've suffered the MSD shootings in Parkland, and we've done it all. Everything everyone's talking about doing nationally, we've already done it. And the result is we have children who, with all of the tests and the ones that are called in unexpected, the kids are literally going through, it's like a war zone on a weekly basis, because there's monthly things scheduled and then there's the unexpected. And as a result, there's little kids, like if you've ever seen the little shoes with the blinkies that they light up, kids aren't wearing those anymore to school because they're afraid they'll go off, in the classes. And here's the thing, there is a solution. We're the cause. It's not kids. We keep on doing all these things and all this, and where it's like you're challenging them in an arms race, literally, and they're trying to, like a game, and we're the cause of the game. We need to stop our response. It's part, and here's the thing, to say it's like it's just the wrong response in the way bleeding was the wrong response. This is part of a natural response. It's part of a natural cycle. So it's even harder for us to acknowledge and face that our natural reactive mental response is too short-sighted. And what we need to do is completely change our perspective. We need to put the onus on teachers, 100% expectation.
So Michael, you're a teacher, right? Are you a teacher, Michael?
Yes. And I also taught,
what grade?
The first kid go into a school. I taught a 7th grade science class, and I also taught all grades as a substitute teacher. And and I can tell you, we are the cause. We're not accepting responsibility, and we're stressing the kids out. It's like if you walk into a room with a tennis ball and all the golden retrievers in the room go running from you, you're the problem.
All right, let's get a response. Let's get a response from Dr. Evans.
Well, I think that the notion that we're all responsible for our children's mental health and mental well-being is important, and I do agree with that notion. It's the reason that I think that school climate programs are so important. Actually, there's pretty good research that's one of the ways to reduce things like bullying, for example. So I think the context that we create, the tone that we set, I think it's unfortunate right now that we have a tone in the country where there's a great divide and it's hard for people to talk with each other. How parents do, one of the biggest predictors of how our children will do is how we're doing. So if we're experiencing a lot of stress and psychological distress, that's going to have an impact on our children. And so one of the ways that we can really help support our children is to make sure that we are doing well ourselves, but we're also modeling the behavior that we want our children to exhibit. And so the context does matter. And I think as parents, as caregivers, as teachers, educators, we have to be very concerned about that kind of environment that we're creating.
And following up on that, Dr. Evans, do you think it's a good idea to maybe limit the news or take some news breaks to be careful about what the children